and the official Mitchell-Hedges Crystal Skull. From the ancient land of Atlantis, or perhaps Sirius, the distant star in our galaxy, or simply a rare and mystical artifact buried for over 1,000 years in Belize, the Mitchell-Hedges Crystal Skull has awed scientists, shamans, and people of all walks of life for over 100 years. Bill has a 10th degree black belt, and he's a grandmaster and the keeper and the guardian of the priceless treasure that thousands of testimonies relate has changed their lives for the positive. I'm going to go ahead and just say a little bit also individually about Catherine, just in case you haven't had a chance to watch the episode with her. She is the author of over 40 published books. I am so amazed that even one of her books became a movie for Hallmark. And she has many, many books and has written things about angels and all the romance novels, a lot of fiction and nonfiction. So she's in her right, a master teacher of all areas. And she also brings in a lot of the energy with the angels. And today we're going to talk about the Crystal Skull, which is, as you know, Mitchell-Hedges, and we're going to talk about angels. So with that, I would like to bring both of you on. Catherine and Bill, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good to be here.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate you coming on. It means a lot to me and to all the listeners and the viewers that you are here. What I'd like to do is begin about and I personally met Mitchell-Hedges, and I will share my own personal experience. And I'd like to talk a little bit more, have Bill share with us, or Catherine, both of you, of what you can share about how powerful and how unique and original Mitchell-Hedges is.
Well, it's, there's a lot of legends that go around it. And one is, it's here at a time that the world needs help. And I think we're there right now. And, the way it's helping the world, it works on opening people up to remember who and what they are, because, we've been here and we've been through so much, but a lot of it is we've forgotten our real essence of who we are as soul, as spirit, and what our real purpose is here on the earth. And so with the skull, it has a way of, especially when you work one-on-one like this, it mirrors the inner self and opens people up to it. And that's remembering is one of the main things. But it also works in joy and bringing through joy and peace and love. And that is a powerful force to make a difference in the world. Because we are creator beings, we create everything in this world, either good through thinking bad thoughts or positive by working on good, positive things that we want in our life. And so it's a matter of taking charge of our life and putting this joy and peace and love in it. And by focusing on that, we're bringing it and changing it. Now, if I help one person and that person helps somebody else and this one, it spreads out, and we can make a difference in the world and bring us into, instead of thinking about all the fearful things that are happening, but keeping our minds in balance and thinking about seeing a world that has possibilities for peace and joy and happiness and prosperity. All that is the only thing that we're not having it is because we're not creating it. So it's a matter of taking back our power and putting that joy in your life and following the joy, because that makes everything happen. And it makes it happen in a way that, if you have a choice of something bad in your life or something good, I think, hey, let's do some good stuff. It's a pretty good thing. So that's what's happening, and that's what we're opening people to and pushing right now.
That's really important, because that's exactly right. We have to keep the vibrations high and be in joy and gratitude for all we have, because that energy absolutely raises the collective consciousness. And that's really important with all of the changes going on. That will continue, whether people study it or not, or they understand what I'm talking about. They will continue, and we know that. We know that. We've known that for a while. And so the crystal skull, I do want to share a little bit about my experience. And I want to thank you both for graciously letting me come to your home and really meet Mitchell-Hedges. And I was able to, I call, commune with him. And while I did it, I could have gone deeper, but I knew I had to get in the car to drive. And the energy, like I could feel like shift, and literally feel. And I knew that if I went much deeper, that I might pass out, not in a bad way, right? But I would be like, oh, I'm really wherever I am, it was that intense. But it has opened me up a lot and helped change my life in really positive ways. And it's absolutely magical, powerful. It is something that you just feel very calm with. It's good energy that really helps humanity. So thank you very much for that.
It's my pleasure and my joy. It's each one of us have these gifts, and if we find out who and what we are and come in balance with that and follow our joy, each one of us, I found my joy, and since I figured out what I want to be when I grow up, and which is a kind of nice thing. It took me a while, but the thing is with the skull and working and going around the country and seeing different people, I see how it affects people and how it changes their life in a positive way, and it's a really good feeling, if you can do that. But each one of us have that gift in themselves to make that same thing happen in a way that's made only for them, because each one of us is not the same, but each one of us have these special gifts. So coming and finding that, bringing it out and becoming, there's nothing better than, helping people, helping humanity, helping yourself, and bringing joy and love into your life, your family's life, your friends, and the whole world too. So yeah.
Yeah. Could one of you share the more personal aspects of Mitchell-Hedges, especially if there's viewers, listeners that have not heard how unique the crystal skull is? Because that's something that is very unique, very different.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell them. Yeah. It is what makes the skull so different. Nobody knows who or how it was made. It came from a pyramid that had been buried over 1,000 years in British Honduras, which is now Belize, is what the legend has been passed on to me. And so that's from the person that had it in the beginning. So I keep her story going, is how it was found. And but it's made against the grain, which is impossible, and because it's very hard. It's number 7 on the hardness scale, but it's brittle. So if you don't follow the grain, it wouldn't be here. It would just shatter. And then another thing, it's made with lenses and prisms built inside the crystal. And to be able to do that, it would take 0 gravity. And they do it now on a space station up in space, but they're building crystals almost like one atom at a time. And so have something this big and this perfect, and building it one atom at a time, it might take a couple years, I think, or maybe a million, I'm not sure. But if you put a light on the bottom of it underneath, because of that 90-degree turn that's in there, it takes the light up and then shoots it out the eyes. So if you were a native in the jungle and they had some light fire or something underneath, and all of a sudden it came up, you'd probably jump pretty good when you saw the skull shooting light at you, But it has dolphins in the cheekbones. If you look at it, it's hard to see on here, but there's a head, the tail, and the fin. And there's a dolphin on this side and a dolphin on this side. And so this is like the double dolphins, and that's like Lemuria, where they say that you see in a like different shops where they have something. They say, "Oh, this is Lemurian. It's a crystal ball sitting on a plate or whatever. It has two dolphins in the sides. That kind of represents the Mitchell-Hedges skull. When you look at the back of it, it's like you look into a whole different world that takes you into that. You can see like two halves of a human brain inside. And if you look in the eyes, and I think you've experienced that, haven't you? It takes you into this different world, and it's a world of crystal and light, and it's like a world of. It's very peaceful. And the skull, that's one of the things. It's not rough or hard. It's so gentle. It's just there, and it sends that gentleness, that light, and it touches people's hearts and makes them remember about a time when that's the way the world was, and makes people want to say, hey, I think that was a pretty good time when we had all that good stuff going. Let's go back, let's make it happen again.
Yes, definitely. Okay, Catherine, can you share some of your views about working with Mitchell-Hedges?
Well, there's several different levels, and I'm going to continue on with what Bill was saying, is that most people that we've, when we've been working together, that see and, spend some time with the crystal skull, just like you did, it is that peace and that joy and the love that you feel that comes through the skull. But it literally, to me, it raises you almost to that angelic level where the vibration is so high. We've had people say, I've heard music, I've heard, like a vibrational thrumming or humming or something like that, that it shows you how high you can really go. You don't have to be all those negative energies and emotions that you have just do not serve you. That's one of the things that I think I see a lot, was where you're just like, well, why am I being so upset about something when I could really spend more time being in that place that the skull brought me to, that angelic realm. And that's why many times when I look into the skull, when someone is here, I'm shown angels, and then that angel may have a message for the person who is here, having an experience. Sometimes it's just, I can literally hear him talking and saying, you need to tell them this. And sometimes he'll say, don't say anything. Don't say anything. And so I just follow what I'm told. And Bill always says, every single person is different. Every experience is different. There are some generalities, yes, just like near-death experiences, there's some generalities to it, but everybody is different because every soul is different. And there's different things that every person has their own personal challenges or blockages or ties they need to cut or whatever. And he's going to bring that out. He'll help clear that. That's what Bill does so incredibly well, is clearing away blockages from people that just got stuck somewhere and, can't make a decision, or, just don't know which way to turn, or can't remember what they need to remember. And that's what he does. They both do so very, very well.
So,
yeah.
But the whole thing, like I say, is joy, and the skull has a sense of humor. So
yeah, he does.
Yeah, you never know, and it comes through pretty funny sometimes.
Yeah, this one time Bill was getting ready to do a show, and we had been 5 places, and all of a sudden we're like, oh my God, we've got like 5 minutes before the show, and he's running around, and the Skull's sitting here, and he says, how's everything going? And I said, oh, wait a minute, I've got to go get the brush and brush your hair. And I literally heard the Skull say, I don't need a brush.
That's the type of humor.
That's
yeah.
the kind of thing, and several times, like when we get ready to go on a trip, he's going, do I get to go on the road trip? Is this train or what? That kind of thing. So
that is really neat. And the Skull does have a spirit. Everything has a spirit.
yeah, sentient being. He's a sentient being. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I feel like the Skull actually has a soul, part of the whole.
Yeah.
As it takes in it's the full potential of the universe and beyond. And we all, and one thing that makes it so unique is we all have our own genetic coding. And what I noticed and found out is that by being in the energy of the Skull, that the Skull helps to activate, turn on, we can say turn on some of the DNA. And I talk mainly about the spiritual DNA that science does not really talk about, but I do believe it could help to heal someone physically. Have you noticed that before?
You know what? We don't say it. Somebody comes, they want to be healed. You can't tell it what to do or whatever, but I have a lot of letters from people that they acclaim they came, and all of a sudden they're changed. Like this one guy had a fused neck, and he just came with his wife and a few other people, and he just came because he was the driver. And
he said he didn't believe in any of this. It was all his wife's thing, but he wanted her to be here.
Well, you can tell. You can
and he was very adamant. He did not come in, in the room where everybody else was. He hung out in the kitchen, far back, and just, observed. He didn't say a word. Everybody, had a little something to eat, snack. And then they all left, and because they had to drive back to Southern Indiana. And by the time they got home, he said, I didn't say, and he had an operation to fuse all of his problems with his spine. It didn't work. He was very upset. He was in pain. And when they got home, he said, well, I didn't say anything, but he said, as I was standing there and you were sitting with the crystal skull, he said, I literally heard all of my spine pop into place. And when he drove home, he had no pain. And it was the first time he had been without pain in months and months and months. So that's
well, you asked for a story, but we don't usually tell stories because we can't say, oh, it does this,
because we don't know.
But also we don't I do know a lot of people that couldn't get pregnant for a long time, and the skull is they feel the skull is it made a change in their life big time. So anything's possible. That's not really what it's all about. It's all about bringing in the joy and the love and opening that in people's hearts. That's the whole thing.
And
having fun.
And having fun.
Yeah.
But one of the things I believe is that when he does bring in all that joy and love and peace, and like Bill said, is you get that balance that's in you. When you have that balance, it's just like then other things in your life balance out. And of course, if you've got the balance in your life and you weren't getting pregnant, well, maybe now you're relaxed enough to make that happen. That kind of things. Just like that gentleman was, he didn't, he didn't believe in anything. He didn't have to believe, we've had those kinds of stories even in the Bible. You don't have to believe it. I'm just going to make it happen,
Well, and that is right. And that's when I said that it activates or it turns off or it turns on, but it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't. We are so powerful. The energy that who we are, made out of we've got the God gene in us. So
yes, we
how
do.
could we not do wrong? How could we not benefit, right?
Yeah.
So it's just connecting to something that is such a high vibration.
Right.
That is
helps you. Yeah. Remember your power and who you are. Yeah. That's so important. Yeah.
It is. And it's almost like it's with the crystal skull. I mean, well, it's just very powerful. I don't know. Another perception would be it's very much into the quantum energy, but I don't know if we want to really talk about that. And I'm just talking my perception of what I'm getting. So that's that, you can be in that energy in many different ways.
Yeah.
Definitely. What else do you guys do? I know we talked a little bit about angels before the show. You want to share anything about the angels?
Well, let's see. We've been working with angels and the different entities. People have these entities with them. They're guides or protectors, but so many times nobody asks for help, So you walk down the street and you walk into a wall and you back up and shake your head and you go again and you keep walking into the same wall. But all you'd have to do is ask for your protection from your guides, your angels, and you get it right away. And so it's just a matter of realizing that they are there to help you, and they do it out of this great love.
Mm-hmm.
And by just opening up, and only thing you really need to do is just be grateful and say thank you. And that's so much of life, is anything that happens, if you can be grateful to it, it's like a flow of water coming down the hill. When you be grateful, it lets the flow come better. And if you have things coming to you, it's kind of nice to have happy things, right?
It is. It really is. And angels are so, they're just so much love.
Yes.
I mean,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's about. And I really feel we need to spend more time and call in our angels, and definitely. And like you say, the gratitude, being in joy is an extremely high vibration, pure love, divine light. We're fortunate right now that anybody watching this probably can receive, it doesn't matter how many miles away you are, you can feel the love of the skull, because the skull has a lot of, it's just pure love, pure love.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And we all can use a little bit more love.
Oh, for sure. Kath has written like 4 books and all on angels. And she's a lot of them were past life stuff where people come back. So I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about the angels.
Thank you.
Yeah. The stories, my books are very different from most of the angel books that are out there. They're trying to describe the angels and who they are and their names and all that. And mine are personal stories that people have had their own personal encounter, and what that encounter was, whether it was a near-death experience, a dream, an angel showed up. My favorite stories are the stories where the angel was literally at the door, and then as they were walking away, they're watching the angel walk down the sidewalk and just vanishes in front of their eyes. I love those stories, and I have a lot of them. And it's very interesting to me, who will write to me and tell me a story. And I've had several pastors who have said, I never wanted to talk about angels because I was afraid of the derision that I would get from my congregation. And I'm happy now that more people are talking about their angels. But just to simplify the whole thing, is all our lives, our mothers, hopefully our mothers always said, just say please and thank you. Please would you help me, angel, and thank you, angel, for helping me. How simple is that? It's just that simple to really get some magnificent, magical, incredible, and loving help.
That's exactly right. If we would remember that we all have guardian angels and we have other angels around us, and they are here to help us for sure. And as you said, if we would get in a habit of asking for that help, because they're there saying, I'm here, call on me.
And they will not work until you ask them. They have to be asked. That's a universal law.
Yes, with free will. We have to for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We are at the end of our show. We have time for another question. or something you would like to talk about? Is that anything else you would
Well,
like to?
Yeah, there's we go with the flow. We go and meet people in different places, and some of the things we do is we have adventures, and we have an adventure coming up in September where we're going to go to Ecuador, and there's these caves down there called Las Calos, and they are the ones that Armstrong went in 1975 looking for these ancient Sumerian or whatever discs that are gold discs with knowledge written on them that was supposedly left there. But we're going to go down to that same cave. You have to rappel in 225 feet before to.
I know, right?
But that's, first you're taking a small boat up down the Amazon.
Mhm.
You get to the place, then you have to go
To the
2 hours hike through the jungle to this village that's there, and you only get there because the indigenous people that own that whole area,
Land.
and they have to allow it. So they've allowed this group to go in. So we're going to go down there and go down, and you're in this one area. It looks like almost as big as a football field under the ground, and it's like there's a big dome rock,
Right.
and there's the area and the energies and such are such. It should be something you'll never forget. And hey, you never know, we might come up with a golden scroll or anything. Anything's possible because it's a place where they consider there's ET connections, ancient ones,
Mhm.
and the ancients were there too. So there's that connection. So we're going to do that, but we're going to do it, and we're going together, and it's going to be well, what would it be? It would be Indiana Jones and Joan Wilder.
There you go.
Kath wrote Romancing the Stone, which is Joan Wilder, and then the Crystal Skull has strong connections to Indiana Jones. So look out, we're going down.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah, if you want to go down with Indiana Jones and Joan Wilder for an adventure, just let me know.
Yeah. Do you ever write down your stories that you go all over the world? And I mean, what you see, what you uncover, I mean, what happens? I mean, gosh, you're definitely Indiana Jones.
Well, you know what? There's supposedly some very special scrolls in that cave that came to us by psychic means that are supposed to be there. So you can, when you go on an expedition like this, I was on old Josh Gates, and they go out there and they say, we're looking for this, and they dig a hole, nothing there, and then they say, oh, dig here. But then a friend of mine that's very psychic gets all mad because if he would have went over 4 feet this way and 2 feet this way, he would have found it, And so we're going to use that psychic gifts to kind of guide us. So you never know what we might find on this trip. So just having fun, whatever it is.
Well, sometimes you just have to not try and let it go, right? And
Let it go. Yep.
The answer comes to you.
That's right.
Catherine, how are you going to do this? You're going to be climbing down for, oh my.
Well, you rappel.
Yeah, they actually lower. You have a harness, and they actually lower you down.
Yeah, you go. The first one is 220 some feet. Then you get off and you go down a little bit further, and then you have to go down 900 more feet. Then you're done.
So you're at Middle Earth, in the new kingdom.
Hey, I think of one of your adventures, didn't a snake bite your shoe? You had boots on or something?
I was jumping. Yeah, I jumped out of the way just in time.
Yeah, that was a poisonous snake.
Yeah,
it was rattlesnake.
Don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, right. We're not doing that anymore. Yeah.
No. Oh, it sounds like so much fun.
But a lot of times we do spiritual stuff. So we're working with the energy of the earth, and and that's the skull. That's one of the things it does. Also, is it connects to the different ley lines and energy, and it restores the balance. Which the whole thing we need now is balance, and that's kind of where we're at. We're working with the male, female energy, getting it in balance, And that's where we're at in time, because astrologically all these forces are coming together, and we're coming into a new possible way of world and life, and that everything needs to be in balance. As long as it's out of balance, it's not going to happen, but we're working on that balance.
Well, that is so true. The balance is very important, because it's definitely been lopsided way too long.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, definitely lopsided. Anything, Catherine, anything else you would like to add?
Just love and lights to everyone out there who is listening, and we really appreciate you having us on the show. This, I mean, we have a message for everyone, and that is, if they do get to see the show and look at the skull, is to just remember that it is joy and love and happiness, and that the more you fill your life with those things, the more you're going to affect the raising of the consciousness of the whole planet.
That is so true. Do you want to end the show with a meditation like you've done before, or is that, I don't know.
No, that's something I love to do. So yes, I'd be
Okay.
glad to do that. Okay.
Okay.
Just a short one, right? Just like maybe 10
Yes.
minutes or so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, we can do that. So what you want to do is, that's one of the things the skull does. It's got that 90-degree turn. And so it takes you real easily and brings you up into a higher consciousness. So would you just relax and go with it? If you'd like to follow this, just close your eyes and just put your mind right on your third eye. And as you do, just start some slow, deep breathing. Breathe in real deep, feeling that light and love coming into your body. Hold it, count of 4, and then breathing out. Just take all the stress, anything, leave your body. And just do 2 more deep breaths, just like that. And as you're doing the breaths, I'm going to connect the skull with the other 12 skulls, that we can do it right now just by connect now. And they will. All 12 skulls will come in to a connection with a connection, and then connecting to each other. There we go. And we ask all the divine help, masters, teachers, guides, angels, archangels, all that those heavenly hosts that want to join us, be with us now in this meditation. And I surround us all with this beautiful white light of love that keeps us all together in this envelope of peace and joy. And so as you put your mind on your third eye and looking up into the heavens with your third eye, just see this beautiful, beautiful white light. And as you see it, feel it coming down towards you, coming down. And it will go right through the top of your head, through your body, right through the top of the skull, into the earth, through your body, into the earth. And just feel that light and love going deep into the earth, deep into the center of the earth. As it goes down, it touches right into the heart of the mother. And the mother has so much love for you, so much love for the earth. And you just feel that love coming back up, coming back into your body, coming back into the skull, and just let that whole thing light up with light and love. Now expand it out. You can feel this energy. Just let it starting to spin and get higher, and just start going up with the energy, up into the sky, up and towards the heavens. All of us coming together with this light and love. And now just as you see the earth below you, you're able to send energy through your hands, and we're going to spread that energy out around the earth. Send it out on the earth. You do it with your mind and your heart. And as you think it and feel it, let it go. And send this beautiful diamond white light, this beautiful sunset pink light of universal love. Oh, there you go. Now you can see this energy coming out your palms, and this energy is white, beautiful light. And you can take it and you can use it to heal anything that you see that could use the light, the love. You can see hunger, you can see war, you see peace, you see hurt all through the earth, and you are able to go anywhere you want in the earth and spread your light and spread your love. And it's yours to do, and you're free to do it. Go now. Send the light, send the love. Okay, let's bring us all back together now, bringing us back together. As we're back together, I want you to think and send out this love and light of things that you want, for all the joy and the peace and the things that you want, the good things you want. You can have or be anything you want. Put in your mind and see that for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your country, for your world. Just send out that love and light. Do it now. Okay, bringing yourself back together again. I want you to feel the energy and light coming back into your body on the count of 5. Count of 1, just feel the energy start coming back, flowing through your body. 2, just let it flow through out your fingertips and toes as you're coming up. 3, feel the love, feel the light. 4, you're almost back. Now 5 has been counted. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes, come back, feel that happiness and joy and love and light. It's yours. God's love. Connection between the other 12 skulls. Open now. Much blessings to all those that have joined us and helped us today together.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what we do. Just send out that good stuff. Yep.
Yeah, you do. And it helps there. If you have a business, it helps your business to
Yes, it
be in the light and to stay balanced and balance your masculine and feminine energy. It really does.
And,
Yeah.
and plan forward and good stuff. And you make the things happen. You're the creator. Yep.
Yes. And that's, you both have had highly successful careers. So if there's anything you want to leave, anything else before we go with business?
I just want to mention our website is www.Homann and the Mitchell-Hedges Crystal Skull, or just .com, or www.mitchell-hedges-crystal-skull.com.
Or just Mitchell-Hedges.
Oh, it's Mitchell-Hedges too.
Mitchell-Hedges.
All of them get you there.
Yeah. So
I will have the information on the show also. So,
Oh, that's great.
all right. Thank you very much.